Just when you thought you had a tank on cruise control, you gotta tap the brakes. I'll show you what I woke up to in the Pico tank a couple days ago in this video. Let's go. What's up, coral people? If you're new here, my name is Remy, and this is the Bahama Llama Coral YouTube channel. I make videos every week, and maybe more soon. I'll tell you more about that in a little bit. But if you could, please like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so you're notified whenever I upload new videos. Some housekeeping off the top. Thing one, I'm gonna be a part of the Reef Bum live stream that he's got on March 18th. I just got finished watching the episode with Jake Adams and put that on your watch list. If you feel like you know anything about the hobby, go check that episode out. You will be humbled in a good way. Thing number two, our club here in St. Louis just announced our spring frag swap. So it's gonna be April 10th. So if you are in the nearby St. Louis area, you gotta make sure to come out. And if you're within driving distance, make sure to put that in your calendar. I think it'd be really cool to meet some of you. I always ask you this, I'd probably do it anyway, but do you want another frag swap series? Now that I've got a couple under my belt, there are definitely some things that I've learned along the way. Thing number three, the clownfish still have not spawned. Thing number four, so I'm thinking about adding another video to my repertoire every single week, but I'm thinking about making it like a 5-minute Friday. How would you guys feel about a tip of the week or something short that isn't necessarily worthy of a full-length video? If you'd watch, please let me know in the comments section down below. I just feel like I don't want to dilute the channel with a whole bunch of videos if you're not going to watch them. So if you want some of that, go ahead and leave a comment and some feedback down below. Thing number five. This is what I woke up to the other morning. Now, I kind of hate myself because I didn't get a whole lot of video footage of this because I kind of went into panic mode, but my first thought was bacterial bloom. My second thought was a snail released its juices all over the tank. And my third thought was, go ask someone who knows more than me. As you know, my buddy Tyler, or inland_reef on Instagram, knows a lot about macroalgae. He's got a significant amount of it in his tanks. And he immediately said, your caulerpa went sexual. And I was like, something sexual happened in there for sure. So immediately I went into water change mode. Now, thankfully, this happened in a Pico tank. It's 2.5 gallons. That, and I want macroalgae to grow in this tank. So if you've got a larger mixed reef and you've got caulerpa or any kind of caulerpa species in your refugium, this could be a little bit larger of a problem. I like how reef cleaners put it. When macroalgae goes sexual, it releases spores into the water to reproduce somewhere else. This can be brought on by changing conditions or through maturity at the end of a particular specimen's life cycle. Often it is a combination of both. After releasing spores, many species break apart and die. I know that in this hobby, when a macroalgae goes sexual, that can be seen as a nuisance. But if you think about it, how cool is it that this macroalgae, as it's dying, continues its lineage by releasing spores into the ocean? And what if this happened to us, where we just disintegrated, Thanos style, and they just started popping up in random places? Anyway, as I'm doing a water change, I'm going through all the things in my mind, like what could have possibly caused this? Guys, I thought this tank was on cruise control. I've been posting so many photos of this on my Instagram page, and then I realized something. As I was leaving my buddy Ben's house a couple days ago, he gave me a bunch of macroalgae because he was selling one of his tanks. I got some blue hypnea, I got some dragon's breath, I got some orchodium. I tossed a lot of it into the refugium of my frag tank, and the cool pieces I kept in the Pico. Obviously, there was some sort of nutrient imbalance and the caulerpa went sexual. To keep nutrients up in this tank, I've been dosing Neo-Nitro from Brightwell. I'd say this supplement and Chaeto Grow are two essential products for any kind of macroalgae display tank. So I obviously underestimated the amount of Neo-Nitro that I should have been dosing into this tank to keep everything happy. Like the article said, nutrients aren't the only thing that can make a macroalgae, or in this case caulerpa, go sexual, but in my case I feel like it's the exact problem. Now, this little Pico tank has gone from one of my most hated tanks by me to one of my most favorite tanks of all time. I don't know if you guys remember this, but go back and look at some of the old Pico tank videos. The tank was wretched. I tried to set it up at work. It was not a good idea. So I made the difficult decision to take it down. I wish that all tank breakdowns took less than 5 minutes, but we're gonna go ahead and take this home, empty this water, and we're all set to hit the road. So I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with this tank next, and I'm pretty excited about it actually. So I ended up snipping out the dead pieces of Palspoides. Now that the spores have kind of blanketed the tank, we'll see where it pops up. All right, so I ended up getting most of the fern caulerpa out. There was some on this side, and then there's a bunch in the back. It's kind of upsetting because it really had a cool backdrop in the back of the tank, but everything along that runner, all the sprouts and ferns and everything are just decimated. They're just gone, so doesn't look too bad. It's funny though to me because the prolifera, which is the kind of belated macroalgae here, it kind of went away for a long time and now it's back. So I wonder if there is also a little bit of a nutrient imbalance there, because that is also a caulerpa species. This is dragon's breath, that's new. This gorg is new. I believe that it's a purple candelabra, I think. New codium down here, which is kind of a darker color. Got some blue hypnea. It's definitely cleared up a ton and it's back to where it was. So I'm pretty happy about that. A water change and carbon were most recommended to me. In my case, I had some of those nano packets of ChemiPure Blue. It was perfect for this situation. I know the hang on the back filter isn't the most aesthetically pleasing thing in the world, but it really helped me move some water through the media to help clear everything up. I'll leave the list of equipment that I use for my Pico tank down in the description below, so if you want to build one out yourself, you at least have a good idea of the equipment that you might need. And make sure to check out the Pico playlist as well. If you could, like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're notified whenever I upload new videos. Most of you know this by now, but I do my best to respond to every single comment. So if you have a question, please let me know down below. Scott Crow called me the other day with super exciting news. I know I'm gonna do the whole YouTube thing where like I can't spill the beans just yet, but I think you're really gonna like it. Let's just say you won't necessarily have to travel to OSA to enjoy what they have to offer. In the meantime, make sure to find OSA on all the socials. Just search Ocean State Aquatics. As we wait for the clownfish to do the dang thing, my rotifers are coming this week. I bought all of the supplies I need for rotifers and culturing rotifers at reefnutrition.com, and those should be here this week. I'm really excited for that. I've been having like super vivid dreams about raising rotifers. My dreams are lame, but I am excited to start documenting that whole process so that maybe you can try it down the road if you have a breeding pair of clownfish. Okay, stay safe, and I will see you next week.